All right, so just an advanced trigger warning, which in itself may have people braced to be upset, especially when it comes to dogs, because truth be told, and even people that I love this applies to, I think that people are fucking insane when it comes to their pets. And just bear with me, let me explain. Apart from giving very, very strong opinions of like, just scolding, wagging fingers at like things they don't see appropriate, that maybe other people don't see as me. I'm trying to think of a good example. Um, I'm sorry, nothing's coming to mind, but if you are a pet lover, you know what I'm talking about as far as people with the strong opinions, because you might have your own strong opinions, but also have other people who wag their finger at you and get mad. So, regardless of kind of where you fall, chances are you understand. So, anyway, let me get to it. The King Charles Spaniel, like, they're so adorable, and I've really been wanting a puppy lately. I haven't had a dog since I was a kid. I actually had a kid, and then that kind of eliminated my desire for one, because then suddenly you've got this, vulnerable little baby, and you're like, well, screw, you're worried about the your child. You're not worried about an animal anymore. So that kind of killed that. But now she's living with her grandparents. She's 16. Truth be told, she hasn't needed me for a while, which is kind of depressing. And I'm kind of ready to like be a parent again. I mean, I the pandemic isolation, it's been isolating. So one of my problems has been, because I know if it's a puppy, it's a thing. There's a lot of like conflicting information online, because I know it can depend on the owner. It can depend on the pet's personality. Sorry about that. Excuse me. Just had some carbonated beverage. So you can hear different things because it can be very relative. But the one thing everyone agrees on is that puppies can be fucking really difficult. But the only dogs of this breed that I actually really want that I'm seeing, that they're only, you know, uh, you can only get them from breeders as puppies. I haven't really seen any as adults. And I found a reasonably priced one that my family's willing to help with because they think that, like, it's actually not a bad idea for me. Here's the thing. I have these instruments. Then I leave cords on the ground, and I'm having flashbacks of actually my sister had a puppy while I had the older dog, and this thing would chew up everything. That's another thing. It seems like, and maybe someone could fill me in on this, do all puppies just chew up everything if they are not supervised fucking 24/7, where you can't take your eye off them? Now, I'm going to be around a lot anyway, so that's okay. But I also want to get the balance right of like not coddling the dog so much to where it does that like thing, like if you even like step away from it. Because my sister had a dog that did that to the point where they ended up giving it away. So I'd really like to have it well trained, but at the same time I don't want it chewing up every single thing that I have. So this is tough. And then one of the things I gave the original warning about is that I experienced this with my daughter when she was, like 1 and 2 and really wanted to go to the park and be out all the time. I love my daughter more than anything, but I don't like interacting with other parents. I never enjoyed that. You have to smile and pretend to be friendly because they have kids and you have a kid, and that's not, I just was never into that. I feel like an outsider, and it just makes me feel, I don't feel like I belong in that sense. I still really don't, and that's kind of what worries me is the building where I live, fucking everybody has a dog. And truth be told, when I walk, I'm saying that a lot, truth be told, but when I go through the halls and like I hate the sound of barking, don't like it. It's not like, ooh, that's cute, that's endearing. When I see a dog barking at me, I'm like, I don't like it. In fact, most dogs that I see, I don't like. I'm like Dennis Reynolds in that It's Always Sunny episode where like he gets chastised for like, what? Who doesn't like dogs? He's like, we're out there, Chuck. We just don't. We're afraid to admit it because people like you will judge us. And I felt that way for a while. But here's the thing. I saw, a puppy that just melted, and puppies can do this. This is why people get them. That just melted my heart, tugged at my heartstrings. And it had like the curly ears. My dog growing up was half lab, half cocker spaniel. And I loved it so much. In fact, I had a theory that, Jesus Christ, I'm going to burp again, sorry. That part of the reason I never really got close to dogs after that was just being heartbroken from him. There's a lot of regret there, but I was young. There's things I wish I would have done. I was kind of too young to do on my own, where really my parents should have stepped in. But, there wasn't the same level of pet worship back then, like in the 90s, that there is now. Like, people are, again, fucking insane when it comes to just pictures of their dogs every day, doing everything like shit that like most people don't care about. But like, it's the intensity of the reactions. Even my girlfriend, it's complicated girlfriend, has a thing where like, if I even sound like I'm, talking shit about dogs in any way, she gets like super upset by it. So the same way I didn't like interacting with other parents and other kids at the park, frankly, I'm going to have to train this puppy. I'm going to have to go to parks. And chances are I'm not going to enjoy interacting with the other dogs. I don't like hyper dogs, which is why I thought the King Charles would be a good fit for me, because they're supposed to be mellow, And that's what I like. I like older dogs. I like mellow ones. But the hyper shit where they're jumping up on you and like the owners act like that's okay. Like, oh, how cute, they like you. It's like, no, I just washed this. I only have 2 shirts in my entire wardrobe. And now this shit's like completely dirty. And then they get offended. People get so offended if you're not like, if you don't fucking gush over their animal. How cute. Like, they get offended by it. And that's really annoying too. So yeah, I can get how I'm probably sounding and coming off, and this is way longer than I wanted it to be, but I'm really looking for help here. Like, is this just a horrible idea for me to get a puppy when, like, I know for a fact that I don't enjoy stopping in the hall and, like, talking to people just because they have a dog and just because I have one, that I'm likely just going to want to get back to my place with me and my dog, and that's the point, is that it's kind of like me and my homie, just the two of us. The dog's name is Olivia, so it'd be a girl. That they really are adorable dogs. So yeah, I want one, but on one hand, quite a bit, and on the other hand, I don't want all my shit chewed up. I definitely don't want to deal with yapping or that whining, that howling. Like, it's too much for me. So I don't know if you can curb that or if that's just something that like is a trait that never really goes away. And I would actually want it to sleep in the bed with me, but I hear that that's not necessarily good because it's really easy to be overly affectionate to where that separation anxiety happens, where if you step away for even a second, they just... Anyway, so with all this doubt that I'm presenting, I think the average person is going to say, dude, you're a fucking idiot. Fuck you. You don't have any place getting a dog. The only people who should have dogs are the people like I've been talking about who just gush over them and, fucking can't get enough. Sorry, I'm not trying to be crude, but Jesus. It's a problem. I want a dog, but I don't want to interact with other dogs and dog owners. Because just like people, I see dogs that I like, but I don't like most of them. I see people that I like, but I don't like most of them. Same thing with babies. I don't like every baby I see. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, so that's just blind. You have to like every dog. You have to like every, like, I don't subscribe to that. So I'm not going to let this pass 2 minutes. But if all of my convoluted mess of words is making any sense and somebody has something that's actually like productive or constructive, even if it's like slightly critical to say, I welcome it. But if you're just there to like dislike, go ahead and do it. I can't stop you from fucking hating me. but it's not going to be helpful. So I'm looking for help here because I've never been so back and forth. Like, it's been exhausting just trying to figure out if I want to do this, if I want to commit. So again, I think most people would say that's the indicator, but like, what if it really is rewarding? What if I can train the puppy? And what if it ends up being like the best decision that I ever made? It's a really tough call. All right, we're past 10 minutes. Take care.